Let's go.
This is another Hamish and Andy podcast.
Good afternoon, mate. Nice to return to the studio after several weeks of charity work.
Lives saved, lives changed, children saved, animals saved.
Yep.
Not all of them, but we did what we could. Yeah, it's good to be back.
I'll just load up the opener here so we can get into this.
Oh, no. Don't worry about it, because I've got it queued up, all ready to go. So I was just in a bit early.
The usual opener?
No, our return opener.
I don't remember us having a return opener.
Yeah, we do. Whenever we go away, we always come back and use the return opener here at the HAP.
The HAP?
Yeah, the HAP, the slang name for the show.
Yeah, no, I do remember you when you wanted me to refer to the show as the HAP instead of the happy hour.
I didn't want you to. It's just everyone does refer to the show as the HAP online and in web forums, and kids and gang members often call our show the HAP. So
Never heard it.
It's just that's people call the show the HAP, and so I guess today is the return of
the HAP.
And there it is. Return of the HAP, there it is. Return of the happy hour. Return of the HAP. Oh my God, return of the HAP. 304.
Good afternoon, everyone.
You do force me into situations where I have to sing that cool song.
It is the happy hour. Returning and happy to be back, Ham.
Hap's back, man.
After a couple of weeks away. So much to catch up on. Not only did you and I holiday separately, we for a change
ventured to different parts of the globe, Ando, but now we are back at the HAP headquarters, ready to rock into a whole hour of the HAP coming up.
So we've got to report back. Slightly different holidays. You went on a family holiday,
Sure. And you tried to find other families. You became parts of.
That's not true.
I met some daughters of families.
I worked very hard throughout the whole trip. But hey, more than that, I mean, during this time when we were away, the show that I was banned from, I mean, it's hard to not look at all these articles because
Sure, Bachelor.
The Bachelor.
Who cares about our holiday, Ando? And I know this is last Thursday night's news.
Yeah.
This is our first chance to be back at this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that people have missed out on from the Bachelor scandal, the fallout. You don't even know how it ended.
Or it started.
I had it IQ'd when we got home. Zoe and I coming back from overseas, it was like trying to not find out football scores, rushing home, staying off social media till we could watch the final 2 episodes of The Bachelor.
Well, it's been your role to report back to me. For people who don't watch it, there might be a few of you out there, like myself. Yeah. Hamish can give us an update within a break.
Well, we've got the scandal update, but we've also got just the actual recap for you of what happened at the end. And I feel like since we've been doing this for 10 weeks, you've got to find out
it was still on when we got back.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of girls to whittle down. And the Bachelor finished up last week.
Oh, yes.
Now, even people that had no inkling, no concept, no desire to watch this show as it was progressing would be aware of the fallout now post-finale.
Well, it has made news. It's become news, which is
And it was sort of becoming news, but like
Strange
begrudgingly. People were like, down to the final 3. Now it's all blown apart with that. So I'll rewind you a little bit to the final episode. It's down to 2 girls, Sam and Lisa. Not my place to say, but I just think Lisa was an absolute slam dunk. Great girl.
Really? Should have won it.
Should have won it. He ends up going
Who'd he go
with
with?
Sam.
Oh, right.
Obviously, he goes with the blonde girl. That's 2 blondes from 2 seasons.
Hang on, why?
I only begin to look at it through the hair colour filter because that's how Zoe watches it. And I assume that's how all girls watch it.
So why did you think that the brunette had a better chance to
She's
take
just
it
a
out?
much better girl. That's just my opinion. I mean, but that's what the show's there for us to judge them. I mean, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Ando. For the final 3, they all went off to South Africa together. Now, you and I know a little bit of how TV's made. So we're watching it going, wow, they're all in South Africa. You know, you're obviously staying.
Why did they go there?
Just to spice it up. I actually think,
spice it up?
From a producer's perspective, they go mentally get the girls out of Australia and you'll let your guard down on holiday.
Okay.
Because clearly the objective of the last 3 was he's been told by the producers, get them to say they love you.
Okay.
That's like the story point they were going for. Sure. And it becomes apparent as one of the Bachelor rules, he's not allowed to say he's in love with the girl until the final reveal of who he picks.
Of course, because then
it would be a bit obvious of who he's going for.
Yeah.
But what happens is you get these 3 conversations in a row, like bouncing from a vineyard to a yacht to a hot air balloon or whatever, where he's got the producers in his ear going, go for it, mate. Yeah. Get it out of him. He's cajoling these girls into saying, look, and they're like, I'm so embarrassed, I don't know if I can say this. And he's like, go, just say it. Like, be open. I'd love to hear what's on your mind. I'm like, oh, look, I know you can't say it back. He's like, just go for it. Go, what's on your heart? I'm like, I am in love with you, Blake.
And what does he say?
And then he just does Essentially, he just goes, yeah, cheers. Well, I got two more. That's what I wanted. I got two more to check in with, and I'll get back to you. Here's my question to you, because it is my dream that next year you'll be the Bachelor. You look a lot like last year's Bachelor, Tim.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you wish you do, though. With a bit of work, we could get you to Tim standards.
I'll be fine.
You're a poor man's Tim. You're a skinny Tim.
Sure.
If we could brush you up to Tim standards, and I think we could get you across the line.
Not interested.
It probably comes down to, this was where the Bachelor was at his finest.
Okay.
How do you deal with people saying, I love you, to your face? Yeah. And you have to stay in the moment.
How would I deal?
Well, this is me. I'm the girl. I'm one of the girls. Say I'm Lisa. Look, I've never said this to anyone before in my life, but what we've got is incredible. And look, Andy, I am in love with you like nothing on earth. I've fallen deeper than you than I knew feelings could exist.
Am I allowed to lie?
It's up to you, mate.
Well, I mean,
Are you asking me the girl, or are you asking me? Because if that's your answer, that's a terrible answer.
I mean,
I'm looking at you in the eyes and I'm going, I've fallen further in love with you than I knew a human heart could experience. I faked to the left. Andy just did the nervous look to the left.
I would say it means a lot to me to hear that. Which is not lying.
That's exactly what he went for.
It might mean a lot of nothing.
The Bachelor. That's exactly what he did. He just kept saying thank you, and I know that's a big thing to say.
Well, I know that's a big thing to say is not lying as well, but it means a lot to me to say that. It's not lying. It might mean a lot of nothing. I might...
Well, okay, just a tip. When you do become the Bachelor, for the talking head, afterwards, when in his solo interview, don't just come out and be giggling, going, I told her it means a lot. Could mean a lot of nothing. I'm having fun. Free trip to South Africa. I think we're doing safari tomorrow. This is awesome.
It's the happy hour. Haim, we've just returned. This is the return of the happy hour today.
Return of the Hapando. It's good to be back.
And we both went on holidays.
We did. Saw a bit of the world. Because in our job, which is going on television and travelling, we don't get to see a lot of the world.
I decided to surprise a friend. You knew about this, but I haven't updated you about it. It was a friend of ours, Chris.
Yeah.
It's his birthday, and he lives in New York City. We met him when we did Gap Year over there in the United States.
Yeah.
It was his birthday, and I thought, well, I have nothing to do. What an amazing surprise for him if I go across there for his birthday.
This is a new kind of surprise party where the birthday boy doesn't know it's happening, and that's normal.
Yep.
But there's no other guest. There's just one surprise guest who's himself decided that he will run the surprise party.
This is always the nervousness with any surprise jump out.
Also, now correct me if I'm wrong here, because I've deliberately withheld from seeing the video or hearing this story because I wanted to hear about it on air. But you were in touch with his girlfriend.
Yes.
Yes. And so she would have... My big fear when you told me you were doing this was he's got a busy week lined up. And so he's left in the difficult position of going, that's so great you're here. I'm actually going away for work for 2 days, and I got this big thing I have to do with my mum.
I got in touch with his girlfriend, Nikki, and she said, yes, we're actually having a birthday dinner for him.
Perfecto.
On the Monday. And I said, well, this is great. What about I dress up as the waiter and just come out with a drink at some point?
Huge.
And she said, that'll be fantastic. I said, so find a place that'll agree to give us a waiter's outfit.
TGI Fridays.
Pretty much. She went through a few of the probably better restaurants. He said, no thanks, we don't need some goose sitting out with the other waiters out the back. But a lovely Greek restaurant allowed us to do the sting.
So
her brothers were in it.
Great.
And, Chris's brothers were in it, and Nikki, the girlfriend of Chris, was going to organise it.
How many people at the dinner?
There was probably about 8.
Good.
So they didn't bother explaining it to everyone because a lot of people just rocked up at the time. I thought, well, it's too hard to try and explain it all, and they didn't actually trust everyone. So it was only Chris's brothers and Nikki that knew, and the rest were just...
So for the rest of them, when they see the surprise, they'll just think Chris loves this waiter.
Exactly. So we arrived early. I got into the outfit. Which
so the guys that work there are totally cool for this?
Totally cool for it.
Did you meet any cool waiters?
Well, I had a lot of time sitting out the back. You and I both know that Chris loves Coca-Cola, so I knew
he doesn't drink alcohol.
No, so I knew he was going to order a Coke. So I said to the waiter, Steve, Steve, can you take all the drinks orders from the table, but don't bring back Chris's Coke? And he'll keep asking for it as the night goes on.
This is clever.
And he'll probably get more and more annoyed at the service.
Because he can drink about 5, 6, 7 Cokes, no problems at a restaurant.
He loves a Coke. Here's one thing that happened just beforehand, which I should preface, is his older brother Tim has flown in from St. Louis in Missouri for a surprise as well.
Did you know that was happening?
No, I didn't know.
Surprise standoff.
I've trumped him by about 12 hours of flight time.
You've trumped him, by about 15,000 kilometres.
So Tim has arrived. So we've all met.
Oh, what a dog. Tim's going to hate you.
We've all met at the restaurant beforehand, and Tim's like, should I even be a surprise now? You're in the outfit. And I was like, well, maybe we get you an outfit as well. He's like, nah, I don't want to be in the outfit.
Just making Tim feel like a jerk. Tim should have flown back and never told him that he was in New York.
So I said to...
Do the honourable thing, Tim. You've been beaten by a buck with bigger horns.
So I said, but Tim, he's surprised to see. He's like, no, I saw him like 10 days ago. It's not even that long a time.
Tim, here's $50. Go have a good night out in New York. Just forget about your family. I've beaten you.
So the decision was Tim would come in very early on in the piece and just arrive, and everyone would clap.
And he'd hush them down. He'd sit at a different table.
And so the time came.
Yeah.
And I was practicing out the back my best American accent, which wasn't that great. But I was always going to come down and just go, who ordered the Coke? In that kind of...
Not bad.
And at the end where Chris was. So I wandered through, and you can see a few people start to bring out phones that knew about it to try and surreptitiously film the situation. But I get down and I go, who ordered the Coke? And Chris, relieved that his Cokes have finally arrived, has just gone, yeah, right here. Looks at me.
Doesn't clock it.
Doesn't clock it.
See, I wondered if this would happen, and my guess
we were talking of berets and fake moustaches and everything like that beforehand.
Because, of course, you're not expecting to see you in that restaurant. I said to you, because I've unfortunately got a condition called face blindness, even if you turned up at a restaurant here in Australia as my waiter, I don't think I would clock you. Because my head is not expecting to see your face in that situation.
So I kind of reach across him to
Please
put the
tell
Coke
me
down.
There's video of this.
There is a video of this. We'll put it up at hamishandy.com. I reach across to put the Coke down, probably a bit more intrusive than a waiter would know, just to get
Start kissing him on the cheek.
just to get a second look up. He does a second look, and then it's the third time where his mind just explodes.
It would.
He can't work it out. Then it becomes really awkward, as you see from the video, because he gets up and goes into what can be described as a fetal position against the wall.
Yeah, he'd just freak out.
Half of his friends don't know who I am, so I'm sat there waiting, standing at the end as a waiter, giggling nervously.
They just go, geez, he must have bought him a Diet Coke.
Hey, there's fun, which we just had.
Love fun.
And there's business.
Business can be fun.
And there's government business.
That's often not fun.
Yeah. To do with your Timatic autograph sales.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, for people that don't know, run a side business here at the show. It actually should be the main business, make a lot more money from it. For various amounts of money, you can buy Timatic's autograph if you go to hamishandy.com through the website.
As done by you.
Yes, I'm the guy doing the autograph. I don't think that needs to be said. But yeah, I have a skill. I have a talent. I have a trade. No, I'm not a stonemason. I'm not a candlestick maker. I can do Timatic's autograph. That is my art.
Yeah.
That is my trade. I do it on the back of the Happy Hour coaster. Many, many people pay good money to receive them. Everyone's very happy when they get them.
Yeah. Well, not everyone. I've heard complaints.
What are the current prices at, Jez? Because the price does fluctuate. It goes up and down. I think it might be, is it still at $6.99?
It's still at $6.99.
$6.99 special price. A special price to celebrate the fact that it looks like I have successfully got the Timatic trademark.
Well, that was the latest news.
Silly Tim didn't trademark his own name. And I managed to sneak in, apply to the government and trademark the autograph, the artwork of the autograph and his name. And I believe is that going well? Or, I mean, I haven't checked up on it, but I can see you have a piece of paper from the government's intellectual property department.
Yeah, you've returned back to Australia a little after I. Which has given me a chance to get to the Happy Hour post office. And I do have from the Australian government...
Oh, there it is. Yep.
The IP, Australia, intellectual property.
I assume that's just a notice to say, hey, Haim, everything's going well.
Well, let me bring you the report, my friend.
Well done on being the only guy involved in the Timatic autograph industry, whether you are Timatic himself or someone else, to be the only person smart enough to trademark the autograph.
Well, we trademarked... well, you did, sorry, but you did it on behalf of our company, so I'm now involved.
Thank you.
Trademark, yes, the name Timatic in the category of entertainer.
Yeah.
Here's the problems that they see.
Oh, they've got a problem list.
There's a problem list.
I thought it...
First thing is the application is ready for acceptance.
Good. As expected.
And then what will happen is it gets advertised. So if anyone...
But like in the back of the paper? No one reads
No, if anyone has any issues, they have 7.5 months
Jeez, what are they doing? Driving around Australia with it on the back of a truck?
to file, and then
He won't.
Well, anyway, you're at the least 8 months away from getting this.
From the trademark.
Yeah.
But I'm currently offering the autograph at special trademark celebration prices. Should I put the price back up?
They're saying a fellow called Mr. Omaji might have a problem. Do you know who that is?
They found him, have they? Because I think his name's Tim O'Madge.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's...
I was like, who's Mr. Omaji? Why the hell is he annoyed
I
about
don't
this?
think his birth name was O'Matic. Dad O'Matic and Mum O'Matic and Tim O'Matic.
They said, here are the problems with your trademark. This is a section.
Jeez,
Your trademark
I'll be honest with you, I was hoping this might just sort of slide through because I assume at the trademark office it's just... I would have hoped that it's just more about just stamping things and keeping the system moving rather than bogging it down with what sounds to me like a lot of red tape.
Well, there's a bit of bog here. Your trademark is the well-known nickname or stage name of a well-known person. Is it? That is Tim O'Madge.
Can I just?
Yes.
If there are two people living on the street and there's a bike there, now whose bike is it? Now, it might be
the owners.
You've got someone at number 7 and number 5, right?
The
And the
owners.
guy, number 7 seems to have the bike a lot, but he leaves it out in the rain. He doesn't look after it. He doesn't trademark it.
That's not-
The guy at number 5
not-
wants the bike and cares for it more.
Doesn't matter.
And I think the government would respect the
Okay,
guy at number
let me
5
quickly-
for caring for it more.
Cover off that you trademarked the autograph as well. The actual
Yes,
symbol.
I did. There it is.
So it was, and it shows up on this piece of paper. Here is the problems. It says, your trademark is a signature of a well-known person, Tim O'Madge.
I fight them on well known. That's where we make our stand.
Anyway, he said, how do I
We
overcome...
need a QC like
They're
in the
not, just
castle.
they're not just throw problems at you, they throw how to overcome problems.
Yeah, great.
So they say, you can overcome this problem by providing written permission from this person, Tim O'Madge, to use his signature in your trademark. So you'll need his written permission. Then...
I assume some sort of typed document with an autograph at the bottom will do.
So you'll also need to agree in writing to add this endorsement to your application. This signature,
problems.
This signature appearing in this trademark is that of Tim O'Madge, who has consented for its use of the trademark.
Yeah.
You need to put that on every single one of the things.
No,
you
just
sent
in my
out.
trademark application. No worries, I'll have that sorted out by tomorrow.
It's the happy hour.
I will respond to this. Just let me talk to my team.
Hey, Jack just brought up an interesting point with regards to that analogy you're using for the bicycles.
Yeah. For the Timatic thing.
Yeah, you're saying that there was two people in the street. That one person owned the bike but didn't care for it.
Yeah.
But
No, you're not getting my bike again, Jack. You borrowed it for almost a year.
yeah.
And we don't-
but since I've given it back 6 months ago, have you ridden it?
Several times.
No, you haven't.
Big time have.
Okay.
And also, we don't live in the same street. We live 2 streets away. So the analogy is null and void. Where do you draw the
When
line?
is the last
it has
time,
to be
when's the last time you have ridden it?
yesterday.
No, you haven't
I
ridden
did a time trial on it.
it. Have you ridden it since Jack gave it back?
Yes, 100%. I rode it to go and get 2 bike locks to block it up at the front of my house.
If you're a new listener, welcome. But for outstanding service to this show, Ham, people can be awarded a gold-coloured watch.
Now,
Valued more highly than the crown jewels.
well, don't get your hopes up of ever having one.
No.
Only 100 are in existence. We've given a bare few away.
Yeah, 24, I think.
And that's less than a quarter, just. So it gives you an idea of how scarce they are. So it'd be very, very silly for you to have it as one of your life goals.
Yeah.
Pick something easier, like running
know.
around the world or something.
Yeah, or,
Something you can do.
or hiking Everest.
Yeah, backwards on your hands.
Just something a bit
Something
easier.
that you could actually control and do because it's very, very hard to get a watch. Now, this is a long story, so we're going to truncate it a bit for new listeners and for old listeners who are getting sick of hearing it. Long story short, we did give away a watch that then became cursed.
Yes.
We managed to get the cursed watch back in our possession. Don't worry about how it became cursed, just trust us. We then tried to blow up the cursed watch, strapped to dynamite in a wheelbarrow full of watermelons.
This is how it went down.
3, 2, 1. Jesus! Watermelon is raining down on us.
With no evidence of the watch visible,
Yeah.
I'm happy to proclaim the curse is broken. Now, in traditional times, that was enough.
It was, wasn't it?
Usually when they blew up a witch, if you couldn't see the witch, you
she's
go,
gone.
okay, the witch is dead.
Yeah.
And the trumpets would start playing and the
They-
violins would start playing.
And
Now-
munchkins would come out and sing.
No one expected the witch to fly off into the woods and remain alive. And
No.
that's what our witch did.
Yeah, our watch.
Sorry, I'm reading my script incorrectly. That's what our watch did.
The watch was found several months later. in
Unbelievably.
the woods.
A couple of hikers.
Yeah.
It does sound like a Brothers Grimm fairy tale. Because a couple of Hansel and Gretel out in the woods, they come across this watch. It was still ticking. And that's when we knew this cursed watch hadn't just survived an explosion, it had survived the elements. Yeah. It was cursed. Truly beyond what the level we thought it was before. So we decided we needed to cut the watch into 5 pieces and scatter it across the globe to make sure that it could never be rejoined and the curse was weakened.
We've had this watch set in a curse-proof amber.
Yeah, curse-resistant plastic.
Yes. And
It's in 5 pieces.
And we're preparing to send the watch to all different corners of the globe.
Now we're calling these people Guardians of the Watch, aren't we?
Yes.
Because you've seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
I have, yes.
And there's some sort of parallel between what we're doing in
that's
that film.
That's what they were doing, yeah. They had a stone which is pretty powerful and they split it up and sent it around the galaxy.
Right.
Yeah.
A stone.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Why was it so powerful?
Very unbelievable compared to our watch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, wasn't one of them a squirrel? No, that's a silly story. Our story makes much more sense. We have a cursed watch.
Yeah.
We now have it in 5 pieces. Now, we're going to pick 4 locations from around the world. Before we just went on our recent holiday to do charity work, we put the call out to say, look, if you're a podcaster or a listener and you know someone or you live in another part of the world, flood us with suggestions with your emails of where we can send 4 of the bits of the watch, because 1 we're just randomly sending to Alaska and not telling them why they got it.
So many people have come in with submissions. We've got a little bit of an insight.
Here's a sample of just some select sentences from some of the suggestions we've got over the break.
I live permanently in the small city of Groningen in the Netherlands, far from all other civilizations.
I could hide in the depths of the Malayan temples.
I know of a deep, disused well. I cannot disclose the location because we don't want...
I currently live in Nicaragua, near where the last series of Survivor was filmed.
I will be climbing Mount Kilimanjaro soon. I could leave the watch at 6,000 metres above sea level.
My uncle works in a cargo ship that regularly sails the Atlantic. It would not be hard for a piece of the watch to accidentally fall off the deck a few
I
thousand...
can organise for the watch to go to Antarctica. I'm not sure if we could stay there permanently, but at least long enough for the heat to die down.
I'm moving to India in 3 weeks. Would be happy to give it to a yogi if that would help at all.
I could probably pour it into the foundations of my parents' new home in Louisiana.
All great suggestions, Ando.
Hey, you and I need to bump heads on this a little bit. So we're going to start tomorrow with picking the Guardians.
Each of the remaining days of this week, Tuesday through Freitag, for our German listeners, because I know this is a bit of an international segment.
Yes.
By Freitag, we will have picked the 4 locations. Plus, and this is our safety.
Yeah.
We're just sending a piece randomly, as we said, to Alaska.
Yeah.
To just with a scroll that says, "Look, you don't know what this means. Don't worry about it. This is a cursed watch. Just bury it. Shut up. Don't tell anyone."
And they'll go, I don't think I know what has to be
know
done
what to
here.
do.
It's the happy hour. Hey, before we go...
And we're just back from holidays. I went with my son and his mother, my wife.
Yes.
Our small little family went off to Greece, around Greece and Italy, a little bit of a European vacay. It was a lot of fun. I've never been to Greece before. You have been to Greece, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've been to the party island of Mykonos?
I went to Mykonos and spent some time in Athens, went up to the Acropolis.
Did you go up?
Did you go?
I had lunch near it.
Oh, mate, you missed out.
It looked like a very high stroll.
Yeah, it's
I had a pusher. It was hot.
Yeah, it's a good walk, but think of the
Zoe had
guys
to breastfeed.
But think of the guys that had to carry the stone up.
Yeah, they
there.
weren't breastfeeding though.
Yeah, it's like the fellows won't. No,
No, so I was
But,
more of a.
They didn't have strollers.
I was more of a god, just at the cafe.
Yeah, right.
Watching the construction, going.
The
"Geez,"
Zeus. Yep.
More of the Athena, going. When you build that, I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to be very impressed.
Yeah.
I like the way she's going. But on the ferries, on a lot of the ferries that go between the islands in Greece, quite often you just get the music video channels. Now, I didn't you go to a lot of, we have travelled a bit through our line of work, and a lot of countries, it's a bit like Australia. Mostly you go, right, for music, we accept a lot of America's product, take a bit of Britain, and then we'll chuck in 10% of our own.
Yeah,
Is that that's sort of the Australian ratio.
And then one Scandinavian
We might,
per 5 years.
Yeah, what does the fox say? We'll throw in there,
Yeah.
maybe just as a bit of a nod to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
in Greece, very proud of the Greek music scene. And a lot of it's quite heavy dance music. Or sort of balanced with like a heavy beat over the back, like a heavy dance beat. Because they need to be club anthems, but they also need to have like a lot of emotion in them. All the songs and their accompanying video clips are insanely emotional. There was one video clip that kept recurring. Obviously, it's all sung in Greek, so I have no idea what they're singing. But this video clip has to go down for me as one of the best video clips of all time. I'll give you the synopsis. Now, your brother's in a band. Tell me if... No one will know if they steal this.
Okay, good, yeah.
Tell me if your brother's band Zoophyte would be interested in stealing this as a concept for a clip.
Okay.
All right? So it starts with a guy turning up at a crime scene.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But he's all dressed in white.
Sure.
Okay, so white pants, like just cheesecloth. White pants, flowy white shirt.
Lead singer or?
Well, yeah, he starts singing.
Okay,
So
okay,
it's
true,
sort of
true.
just a ballad for him. He's singing. And so I got to know this film clip very well because I saw it about 15 times.
Yeah.
So it's meant to look like a crime scene, but you realise they couldn't obviously get police tape for the film clip. So it's just that red and white, like candy stripe tape. Emergency tape.
Yeah.
But it's meant to look like a crime scene. And there are reporters out the front of this house jostling. Only about 4 or 5 of them. It's shot to make it look like there's more.
Yeah, okay.
And then when you look closely, no one's holding them back except the tape. So they're sort of jostling against the tape. He then, using a few camera tricks, walks through them. So you go, hello. He's a ghost.
He's a ghost, yeah.
So he walks into the house, and there's him on the floor.
Oh, no.
Just collapsed. No blood, no...
Right, so heart attack potential.
So, first of all, you go, now it's been established as a crime scene, because there's a tape out the front. No police, no detective, no one in, no police presence whatsoever.
But potentially high profile because there are some
There's
paparazzi.
reporters, people, the media, the Greek media care that this guy's dead. So he's there, and his widow, or his girlfriend, is in really
upset.
She's going through deep anguish over his body. And he's singing very aggressively at her. And I assume the song is like, I've gone, but I'm still here.
Ghost him singing.
Ghost him, sorry.
Yeah.
So him in white is singing very aggressively at her face. And
she can't hear it.
Well, she can't hear it because it's sort of basically Ghost with Patrick Swayze is the idea of the film clip.
But the woman's not Whoopi Goldberg, so she can't hear him.
She can't hear him. So she, as the film clip goes on, she goes upstairs and is pretty much just sitting on the couch and crying and on their 4-poster bed. And he's really getting in her face and yelling.
Sure.
The chorus, I think, is, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
Shut up. Stop crying. I'm here. I'm always close to you, but you think I've gone. Yeah. But the thing is, you go, now, if they shot that with a real ghost, awesome, because there would be no danger of him touching her. The best thing about this film clip is at several points during the film clip, because he's getting right in her face, even the power of him singing, you can see is flowing her hair back.
Yeah, right.
And at one point, his hand whacks her in the face, and she has to keep acting like she doesn't really know what's going on. In the end, how grim is this? It's not really explained. Then she just appears also in white, and they walk off together.
Oh, she Romeo and Juliet.
I don't know what she's done.
Yeah.
But then he is able to touch her. Then she can feel his touches.
My brother's band's going to pass. I'll be honest. Only because we don't have enough white clothes in the house.
What about just Cam wearing cricket whites? Come back as Dennis Lilly, the ghost.
So I've got time for today. Very happy to be back. HamishNetty.com for anything you may have missed. The podcast is there as well. And we'll get this curse completely sorted out for you by the end of the week, we promise.
Solved in the next 4 days. That is a Hamish and Andy guarantee.
See you tomorrow.
Have a good one.
Thank you for podcasting the Hamish and Andy Show.